My dear students. Today I'm going to discuss Herman Hesse's Siddhartha. Uh, we know the biography of Herman Hesse. He was born on July 2nd, 1877 in Kau, Germany, and he died in August 9, 1962, Montagnola, Switzerland. Hermann Hesse was a German novelist and poet, who was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1946. The main theme of his work is the individual's effort to break out of the established modes of civilization, so as to find an essential spirit and identity. The individual effort and individual identity should be highlighted in the novel of Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse. As we know, the notable works of Hermann Hesse, the Siddhartha, the Glass Bead Game, Steppenwolf, Peter Kamenzind, Beneath the Wheel, Rochelde, Demian, Gertrude, Narcissus, and Goldstein. So Hesse grew up in Kahl and in Basel. He attended school briefly in Göppingen before, at the behest of his father, he entered the Malborn Seminary in 1891. Though a model student in the school, Hermann Hesse was unable to adapt and left less than a year later. As he would later explain, I was a good learner, good at Latin, through only fair at Greek. I was not a very manageable boy, and it was only with the difficulty that I fitted into the framework of pietist education that aimed at subduing and breaking the individual personality. Hussey, who was aspired to be a poet, was apprenticed in a Call Tower Clock factory and later in a Tübingen bookstore. He would express his disgust with conventional schooling in the novel Unturned Rad in 1906, Beneath the Wheel. Understood that? It is Beneath the Wheel, in which an overly diligent student is driven to self destruction. Hussey began to write Siddhartha around 1920. I think it is around 1920. And the first English translation of it was published in 1951. For Hermann Hesse, this was his confession of belief, wrought out of his rejection of his parents' Orthodox Christianity and of the one sidedness of Europe's intellectual culture, expressing his yearning for a culture of the spiritual function that our intellectual approach to life has not been able to provide. Quoted in a translator's preface. Once again, I read out that line. A culture of the spiritual function that our intellectual approach to life has not been able to provide. Hussey, who aspired to be a poet, but he was apprenticed in a tower clock factory and later in a Tübingen bookstore. He would express his disgust with conventional schooling in the novel Unturned Road in 1906, Beneath the Wheel. Hussey published his first book, a collection of poems, in 1899. He remained in the book selling business until 1904, when he became a freelance writer and brought out his first novel, Peter Kaminsint, about a failed and dissipated writer. The novel was a success, and Hermann Hesse returned to the theme of an artist inward and outward search of Gertrude in 1910 and Rochelde in 1904. A visit to India, a surprising visit to India in these years, was later reflected in Siddhartha. It was written in 1922, as I already mentioned. A poetic novel set in India at the time of the Buddha about the search of enlightenment. During World War I, Hussey lived in neutral Switzerland, wrote denunciations of militarism and nationalism, and edited a journal for German war prisoners and internists. In the story of the Siddhartha, a young Brahmin living in India at the time of the Buddha, and a spiritual journey in search of enlightenment. In the first part of the book, let us brief the story of the book. In the first part of the book, he leaves behind his father and family and formal religion. Then he devoted friend and companion seeker Govinda and even eschews following the path of the Buddha. His reason for this choice is his realization that the Buddha teaches liberation from suffering. Liberation from suffering. That's a theme. And that this supreme goal has been attained not through following a teaching, not through following a teaching, but through his seeking truth on his own path. Truth on his own path. And that what he was attained cannot be taught, it can only be found on one's own. So begins Siddhartha's journey proper. He became a prominent permanent resident of Switzerland in 1919 and a citizen in 1923, settling in Montagnola. A deepening sense of personal crisis led Hussey to psychoanalysis with J.B. Lang, a disciple of Carl Jung. The influence of analysis appears in Damien, an examination of the achievement of self awareness by a troubled adolescent. This novel had a pervasive effect on the troubled Germany and made its author famous. At this point of the story, Hussey found himself unable to write Siddhartha's quest for his goal for enlightenment. Quest for his goal for enlightenment, because he himself felt dissociated from his own being. He became depressed, and it was not until 1922, after immersing himself in the study of Eastern religion, in particular Buddhism and extended psychoanalysis with Carl Jung, that he was able to complete the novel. Hussey's later work shows his interest in Jungian concept of introversion and extraversion. Introversion and extraversion. The collective unconscious, the collective unconscious, idealism and symbols. Hussey also came to be preoccupied with what he saw as the duality of human nature. The mythic story, after his English translation, had an enormous influence on American culture in the 1960s and 70s and spread further afield. It was made into a film in 1972 but fell into oblivion, then was resurrected in 1996. Siddhartha was one of the iconic books that I read in 1970s, along with many, my friends. When I was a psychiatric nurse and stayed with me while many others forgotten. In it, Hussey again explores the dualism of the contemplative and the active life. This time, though the figure of the supremely gifted intellectual, he subsequently published letters, essays, and stories. His worldly self dies and he sets out on the road again, wandering in the forest until he comes back to the river. It was just reread it and found it still stirs me and speak of to my soul the Siddhartha's arrogance in the earlier part of his journey. But he becomes more humane, becomes a lover, a successful merchant, a gambler, and a man of the world, and loses his soul's light. He has an awakening, and like Buddha, he sits under a mango tree and fasting and reflects on what he has become, what he has lost. He remembers the sacred syllable, Om, and falls asleep. When he awakes, he sees the world as a new man. After the World War II, Hussey's popularity among German readers soared, though it had crashed by the 1950s. He is befriended by the old ferryman Vasudeva and lives with him, helping him to work the ferry and till the land. From Vasudeva, he learns the art of listening, and from the river, he learns much, most of all, that there is no time, that time is not real, nothing is, nothing will be, everything is, everything has its being and is present. His appeal for self-realization, and is a celebration of Eastern mysticism, transformed into something of a cult figure to young people in the English-speaking world of in the 16th and 70s. Eventually, for his son is spoiled and resentful, and hates the Spartan life, and two old men live. Eventually, he runs away, and Siddhartha, a broken hearted man, yields once again to the song of the river, Om, a perfection, and ceases to struggle and suffer. There is more, but although I have already revealed the best part of his story, and this vein of his work ensured an international audience for his work award, and that we cannot shield our children from samsara, suffering, and that they, like us, must find their own way. Wisdom he learns from the river's song is a readiness of his soul to think the thought of unity, to breathe it, as he tells his friend Govinda, when they are reunited. Seeking means having a goal, but finds means being free, open, having no goal. For me, the secret that Siddhartha discovers is profound, but not wisdom, and that we cannot shield as his appeal for self realization. And this vein of his work ensured an international audience for his work afterward. In the 1960s, especially in the United States, the novel of Herman Hesse were widely embraced by young readers who found in his protagonists a reflection of their own search of meaning in a troubled world. Hasse's rich allusions to world mythologies, especially those of Asia, and his persistent theme of the individual striving for integrity. And that time, individuals are striving for integrity in opposition to received opinions and mass culture appealed into generation in upheaval and in search of renewed values. Hussey concentrated on writing poetry as a young man. During the war, Hussey was actively involved in relief efforts, depression, criticism for his pacifist views, and a series of personal crises combined with what he referred to as the war psychosis of his times led Hussey to undergo psychoanalysis with J.B. Lang, a student of Carl Jung, and these years came Damien in 1919, a novel whose main character is torn between the orderliness of Borgio's existence, the turbulent and enticing world of sensual experience. This dichotomy is prominent in Hussey's subsequent novels, including Siddhartha in 1922 and Steppenwolf in 1927 and Narcissus and Goldmund in 1930. Hussey worked on his magnum opus, The Glass Bead Game, in 1943 for 12 years. This novel was specifically cited when he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1946. Hussey died at his home in Switzerland in 1962, calling his life a series of crises and new beginnings. Hussey clearly saw his writing as a direct reflection of his personal development and his protagonist and representing stages in his own evolution. In the 1950s, Hussey described the dominant theme of his work from Gemeinsind and Steppenwolf and Jesus Kent, and also of the personality of the individual self. This novel was specifically cited when he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1946. And finally, Hussey died at his home in Switzerland in 1962. That is a biography of the great writer Hermann Hesse, who was interested in Indian myth, the Siddhartha, Bhagwan Buddha, and he concentrated and he studied for several years and wrote the Buddha and a Siddhartha in the form of Siddhartha. And aspired, though Hermann Hesse aspired to be a poet, and he was apprenticed in a coal tower clock factory. He would express his disgust with conventional schooling in the novel Intern Rod. Finally, ultimately, he became a great writer and revealed his in self what he has in. And so, in this way, Hermann Hesse was a great writer as we accepted, and so we can read Siddhartha in a full form. Thank you.